Good morning, Chalice congregation. Please join me in singing our welcoming song when the music comes around. You are welcome here, wherever you're going to, wherever you're coming from. You are welcome here. You are welcome here, wherever you're going to, wherever you're coming from. You are welcome here, 'cause it's a house of love, a house of hope and dreams. It's a house of love, and you are welcome here, 'cause it's a house of love, of hope and dreams. It's a house of love, and you are welcome here. Ahora en español. Bienvenido aquí, yo quiero que vayas tú, yo quiero que vengas hoy. Bienvenido aquí. Bienvenido aquí, no quiero que vayas tú, no quiero que vengas hoy. Bienvenido aquí, a este lugar de amor, de sueños e ilusión, a este lugar de amor. Bienvenido aquí, si es un lugar de amor, de sueños e ilusión, a este lugar de amor. Bienvenido aquí.
Good morning. Welcome to Chalice Unitarian Universalist Congregation. We are a vibrant community grounded in many beliefs and life experiences, cultivating a liberal religious tradition and united in our desire to grow in love and to serve one another and the wider world. Whoever you are, whomever you love, and wherever you find yourself on life's journey, you are welcome here. Whether Chalice is your spiritual home, a place you visit now and then, or somewhere you are joining for the very first time this morning, we are truly glad you are with us. My name is Ann McKernan, and I'm serving as the worship associate today. Our service is led by our minister, the Reverend Sharon Wylie. Our worship musician this morning is Tim McKnight. Our song leader is Tom Karlstrom, and our sound and video engineer is Jake Diak. We are also grateful for our greeters, Susan Spoto and Amber Vlasnik, and thank you to everyone who makes this service possible this morning. Welcome to our Sunday worship service, whether you are here with us in the chapel or joining us live on Zoom. For those of us gathered in the chapel, if you are seated in a row with extra space, it would be nice if you moved a little to the wall so people who come in a tad late can find a seat. Also, please feel free to wear a mask or step outside as needed for your comfort. You can still hear the service from the courtyard. We are always delighted to welcome newcomers. If you are new to Chalice, you can learn more about our groups, programs, and upcoming events through our weekly email update and monthly newsletter. Online guests will receive an invitation to join our mailing list after the service, and in-person guests, you are encouraged to share your email with us before you leave. It's the best way to stay connected with all that's happening here at Chalice. Once again, welcome. We're glad you're here. And now, let's take a breath together. As we settle our souls into worship, we acknowledge Indigenous peoples with these words from Jenny Leading Cloud, a storyteller of the Rosebud Reservation in South Dakota. We Indians think of the earth and the whole universe as a never-ending circle, and in this circle, man is just another animal. The buffalo and the coyote are our brothers, the birds our cousins. Even the tiniest ant, even a louse, even the smallest flower you can find, they are all relatives. And now we light our chalice, the symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith. I'd like to invite Judy Cavallo to light our chalice this morning. Our chalice words, lighting words, come from the written words of James Baldwin. The longer I live, the more deeply I learn that love, whether we call it friendship or family or romance, is the work of mirroring and magnifying each other's light. Gentle work, steadfast work, life-saving work in those moments when life and shame and sorrow occlude our own light from our view, but there is still a clear-eyed, loving person to beam it back. In our best moments, we are that person for another.
Today is the 5th service in a 10-part series on wrestling with digital distraction. We call this, these 10-part series, our spirit study topic. Our call to worship comes from the Reverend Dan Schatz. We gather in the midst of the storm to be shelter for one another. We gather in a time of uncertainty to offer the assurance of compassion. We gather in grief to renew community and to give ourselves once more to the vision of justice, freedom, and human decency. Let us worship together.
Please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing our hymn of the month, which we sing every Sunday this month. It will be known by our love, and it's in the virtual hymn book. Copies are available in the back of the chapel. When the winds around you blow, take my hand. When the raging waters flow, I'll help you to land, and we'll go together into this great unknown, sheltered for each other, compassion as our home, and we'll be known by our love. We'll be known by our love. When you're fearful, when you're blue, don't despair. When the world gives up on you, I'll still be there, and we'll go together into the great unknown, weltered for each other, compassion as our home, and we'll be known by our love. 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 Please be seated.
Our Sunday worship is a shared spiritual practice, a time when we care for one another by naming and honoring both our joys and our sorrows. You are invited to write a joy or sorrow on a candle card, which will be gathered shortly. If you are worshiping online, please type your joy or sorrow along with your name into the chat. These joys and sorrows will be spoken aloud during the service. This portion will then be removed from the recording before it is posted onto the YouTube channel. If you would prefer to share something privately, or if you have a prayer request, you are welcome to email Reverend Sharon confidentially. Her email address will appear on the screen in a moment. Please enjoy some music while you write down what you would like to share, so that in the sharing, your burden is lessened and your joy is multiplied.
light our first candle of sorrow for Renee Nicole Good. It was a fun morning. We'll light our final pillar candle for all the joys and sorrows in our community that may go unshared and unspoken this morning. These two are held in our shared love and support. Now I'd like to invite the children to come forward for the story, and anyone else who'd like to. Our story is called Unplugged Ninja, a book about screen time, written and illustrated by Mary Nin. Hi, I'm Unplugged Ninja. To be calm and cool, I make a choice to stay mindful. When I feel like I'm spending a lot of time on my electronics, I reset my habits by doing something active or creative. If I'm feeling irritable or angry, I reconnect with nature by biking, playing a sport, or fishing. When I'm feeling anxious or stressed out, I relax by reading or spending quiet time alone. The truth is, I haven't always known how to be mindful. When I couldn't find my electronics, I panicked. If the Wi-Fi suddenly stopped working, I got upset. When I spent a lot of time on electronics, I became irritable. All that changed one day when Kind Ninja suggested that I try a fun new way to go about my day. "You want me to show you?" Kind Ninja asked. "It's easy." "Sure." What you do is practice the 3 R's: reset, reconnect, relax. Reset by doing a fun activity. It can be something active or creative. Next, reconnect with nature by going outside. Then, relax with a music, a book, or a bath. Before you know it, you'll be calm and cool. Thanks. I think I'll try it tomorrow. The next day I woke up remembering what Kind Ninja said about the 3 R's: reset, reconnect, relax. After breakfast, I decided to practice the first R, reset. I created a new game with my dog. To practice the second R, reconnect, I went outside to play. I was having so much fun, I didn't even realize how late it had gotten. Before I knew it, I was doing Kind Ninja's third R, relax, by listening to music and relaxing in a long, warm bath. It had been a spectacular day, and as I drifted off to sleep, I thought to myself, I should do that again.
Join me in singing our children to their religious education classes. We hold you in our love as you go, as you go. May your heart be at peace as you go. To nurture the spark of your precious life, we hold you in our love as you go.
Some people may ask, how can I stay peaceful when difficult situations arise? We must begin by understanding we are where we are. Situations happen, often without warning, often beyond our control. We cannot always prevent or change them, But here is what we can control, the way we respond. The situation is what it is, but we can change how we meet it, with presence instead of panic, with clarity instead of confusion, with wise action instead of helpless worry. Peace in difficult times doesn't mean nothing bothers us. It means we stop making everything worse by losing ourselves in our thoughts. It means we stay grounded enough to see what we can actually do, then do it with a calm heart. These words were shared on the Facebook page of the Walk for Peace, a group of Buddhist monks embodying this teaching through action rather than words alone. The monks are undertaking an extraordinary 120-day, 2,300-mile walking pilgrimage from Fort Worth, Texas to Washington, D.C., accompanied by their loyal dog, Aloka. With each step, they are raising awareness for peace, loving kindness, mindfulness, and compassion across America and throughout the world. Currently, they are walking through South Carolina and are on day 78 of their journey. Through something as simple as and profound as walking, praying, and offering blessings, they have touched the hearts of thousands. People gather along the roadsides to greet them, attend their talks, and welcome them into churches, temples, parks, and community spaces. They have been formally received at state houses and informally embraced by strangers moved by their quiet presence. Along their journey, the monks collect lapel pins from elected officials, sheriffs, and law enforcement officers. In return, they offer flowers, gentle symbols of peace, gratitude, and unity. This exchange reflects the spirit of the walk itself: mutual respect, humility, and shared humanity. With over 940,000 followers on Facebook and counting, that was from last night, changes quickly, much local and national television coverage, and countless in-person encounters, the Walk for Peace has become a living reminder to all of us the power of peace. As the monks themselves write, we walk not to change anyone's faith or belief. We walk only to gently raise awareness of peace, mindfulness, compassion, loving kindness, and unity. This walk is not a spectacle, it is a moving meditation and an invitation for all of us to walk a little more peacefully in our own lives.
So I don't know about you, but this was an extraordinarily difficult week for me. This time last week, we were all reeling from the news of the invasion of Venezuela. That situation is still unfolding, heavy and uncertain. Then, of course, our hearts broke again with the news of the death of Renee Nicole Good in Minneapolis. I tried to be careful. I resisted being absorbed by the constant agonizing churn of the news cycle. I was not reading compulsively. I wasn't hunting for every new horrific detail. I took steps to turn my attention toward things that are more uplifting. I spent time watching the Buddhist monks walking for peace, trying to find a rhythm of breath and calm. But here is the truth of the human heart. When the news is terrible, it knocks us down anyway. We have to have space in our lives for grieving and for simply taking care of ourselves. And that space takes time and energy. I didn't get a lot done this week. On Wednesday, I sat down to pay some bills, and they were right there in front of me. And somehow, one way or another, those bills didn't get paid. They're still sitting on my desk right now, just as if I'm going to come back to them at any second. But I haven't yet. My body was there, and the time was there, but my attention was gone. So I want to show you why those bills stayed on my desk. So I want to show you why your own to-do list might feel like an impossible mountain right now. I'm going to fuss with these for a second. So imagine that this tray represents your cognitive resources, the mental and emotional fuel you have to navigate your day, attention, decision-making, problem-solving. These foam shapes on the tray are the units of that energy, if it could be measured. On some perfect day, when we're well-rested, peaceful, in good health, we start the day with a full tray. We have shapes to spare for our work, our families, our chores, and our spiritual lives. But we are living in tumultuous times. And when the world is in upheaval, we don't even start the day with a full tray. We start with a deficit. If we slept poorly because our minds were racing with worry, we lose shapes. If we are grieving a loss in our lives, we lose resources. If we pick up our phones first thing in the morning and read a headline that fills us with horror, we lose those resources before we've even had our coffee. Soon, we find ourselves staring at a tray with so many fewer shapes left. We find it hard to make simple decisions. We find it hard to pay a bill or answer an email. And then in our exhaustion, we try to comfort ourselves. We pick up our devices to relax. But often the way we use our devices isn't restorative, it's numbing. We call it downtime, but it's actually digital distraction that drains the last remaining resources we have. We're trying to find peace, but we are accidentally spending our last few units of energy on an algorithm designed to keep us scrolling. Numbing ourselves on our devices drains more cognitive resources, even as we are trying to comfort ourselves and to relax. This brings us to a larger, more systemic reality. We live in what economists call an attention economy. In the era of modern capitalism, your attention is one of the most valuable resources on the planet. Massive corporations spent billions of dollars this week trying to harvest those few foam shapes you have left on your tray. When we talk about digital distraction, we aren't just talking about a personal bad habit. We are talking about a relentless contest for our attention, the contest for our hearts and minds, our life energy. If our attention is being bought, sold, and manipulated, how much of it is truly ours? It feels like a personal triumph to me that despite the weight of this week, I didn't fall into the trap of doom scrolling. And because of the work we've been doing together in this sermon series, I recognized the urge to numb myself, and I made a different choice. In my downtime, that period of decompression we all need after a hard day, I watched a favorite, familiar TV show. It was comforting, and it didn't demand anything of me. But my biggest win is that I went to bed on time. That might sound like a small thing, but in a week like this, it was huge. And it didn't happen by accident. It happened because I have been practicing a specific discipline of attention. I went to bed on time because rest and recovery is one of the focus areas in my seasonal attention plan. This plan, this intentionality, is how I make sure that the few shapes I have left don't end up in the trash can by accident. It turns a relentless contest into a deliberate choice. We're very used to the concept of time management. We buy planners, we set timers, and we try to squeeze more into our 24 hours. But time management is a lie if you have no attention to give to the time you've saved. You can have 3 hours of free time on a Wednesday afternoon, but if your tray of resources is empty, you will spend those 3 hours staring at a wall, or worse, staring at a screen that drains you further. We don't need to manage our time. We need to manage our attention. We need to be intentional and deliberate about where we place those few final foam shapes on our tray. So to help with this, I've developed what I call the Seasonal Attention Plan. It's a simple tool to help us look at our lives, not in years or days, but in seasons of time. You already have access to it. It was linked in the email this morning with the Zoom link to today's service, and it's on our website in the Spirit Study section. And you don't need to remember all of this right now. The details will still be there when you're ready for them. I call it seasonal because life doesn't move in a straight, permanent line. It moves in chapters. And I think of the year in 4-month seasons, long enough to build a habit, short enough to change course when life changes. And of course, you may think of your time chapters in different amounts. So the first step of the plan is just an honest assessment. You look at the areas of your life that receive your attention: work, family, daily tasks, spiritual life, rest, and you name for yourself how you're doing in those areas. So I offer 3 simple words for assessment: robust, content, or needs attention. In a week like this, I want to give you a shortcut. You don't need to worry about the parts that are robust or content. You can just ask yourself this one question: what is one area of my life that needs my attention right now? When something needs attention, that's not a moral failure. It's just an honest recognition of where the foam shapes are slipping off the tray. Once you see that, the plan asks you to choose a small number of focus areas, 2 or 3 at most, never more, because attention only works when it's concentrated. And that's it. That's the heart of the plan. So I filled out this assessment for myself this past September, and I've been following the attention plan I created for myself. And for me, one of my focus areas has been rest and recovery. I had been struggling with staying up later than felt good, so I directed attention to an earlier bedtime. This is a particular challenge for me. It's been quite the struggle, but I know it is also for many of us because my cognitive resources are diminished at the end of the day. my tray is empty, and it becomes harder to make a good decision. But because I had already identified this as a priority in my plan, because I'd been focused on it for the past several months, the decision was already made for me on Wednesday night, when the news was terrible and my tray was empty. I didn't have to use my limited cognitive resources to decide what time to go to bed. I'd already building my new habit, and my plan told me, go to bed, protect the tray. When you sit down with this tool later, as I hope you'll do, I invite you to ask just 2 questions. Why does this matter now, this area that needs attention? And what am I willing to let go of? You cannot add something new to the tray without taking something else off. The cognitive resources are finite. To get the rest I needed this week, I had to let go of the need to be perfectly informed. I had to let go of paying the bills that night. I had to set a boundary to protect my attention and get myself to bed. This plan isn't about optimization. It's actually an invitation into a spiritual discipline. In a relentless contest for our attention, choosing where you look is an act of sacred resistance. When we tend to our attention, we are practicing the stewardship of our very lives. We are making sure the energy we have goes toward the people we love, the justice we seek, and the peace we need. The news will continue to be upsetting. The times will remain tumultuous. May we be intentional with our attention. May we be gentle with ourselves. And may we protect what is sacred and finite. May it be so. Amen, and blessed be.
Please rise in body or spirit and join in singing, There is Love. There is a love holding me. There is a love holding all that I love. There is a love holding all. I rest in this love. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all. We rest in this love. We rest in this love. Please be seated.
The Sunday offering is an expression of the generosity that makes our congregational life possible. As Buddhist teacher Christina Feldman writes, generosity lies at the heart of spiritual practice. Extending generosity to ourselves and others gladdens our heart, is a direct way of healing division, and brings joy. We encourage you to text your donation to Chalice. If you haven't texted a donation before, once you text the amount, you will get a reply with a link to enter your credit card information. If your Sunday donation is meant to be part of your pledge payment, please be sure to indicate pledge after the dollar amount. The phone number for text donations will be on screen in a moment. If you prefer to make an in-person donation of cash or check, there are envelopes in a donation box to the left of the chapel double doors. You can leave these donations after the service. Please give generously. Please join in dedicating our offering with words of affirmation.
At Chalice UU Congregation, our mission is to connect through worship, music, learning, and caring ministries.
And now some words of encouragement. Nothing's impossible, I have found, for when my chin is on the ground, I pick myself up, dust myself off, start all over again. Don't lose your confidence if you slip, be grateful for a pleasant trip, and pick yourself up, dust yourself off, start all over again. Work like a soul inspired till the battle of the day is won. You may be sick and tired, but stick till your job is done. Will you remember the famous men who had to fall to rise again? Take a deep breath, dust yourself off, start all over again. Don't lose your confidence if you slip. Be grateful for a pleasant trip and pick yourself up, dust yourself off, start all over again. Work like a soul inspired till the battle of the day is won. You may be sick and tired, but stick till the job is done. Will you remember the famous men who had to fall to rise again? So take a deep breath, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and start all over again.
Will you join me in the spirit of prayer? The words come from the Reverend Dan Schatz. God of many names and no name, Spirit of love and justice, sacredness within. We cry out in fear and grieving, in anger and determination. Love and justice take hold. Remind us who we are. Lead us forward and guide us in your ways. When we are afraid, turn us to each other so we may give and find comfort and strength in community. When we mourn, open our hearts wider to the sweetness as well as the sorrow in this world and to compassion for all beings. When we are angry, remind us again and again of our ideals, keeping us true to their vision. And love and justice give us determination to hold together, to better this world, to love humanity in spite of it all, to keep the struggle when the times are hard, and to move as one to a new day of promise. Amen, and blessed be.
Please rise in body or spirit and join in singing our hymn, Blue Boat Home.
Universe is the
Our closing words come from a Facebook post by the Walk for Peace monks on their official Facebook page. When peace, compassion, and loving kindness shine in our hearts, all the barriers that seem to divide us simply dissolve, and what remains is the beautiful truth we might have forgotten. We were never strangers, only family and friends who haven't yet recognized each other. May you and all beings be well, happy, and at peace. You are invited to close our time together by singing the well. After our closing hymn, please return to your seats for a couple of announcements.
We drink from the well together, cool, cool water that quenches my thirst, a thirst for justice, a thirst for joy, a thirst for a love that we're all a part of. We drink from the well. We drink from the well together. Hand in hand we are standing as one, standing for justice, standing for joy, stand for a love that we're all a part of. We drink from the well. Open the doors to the world outside, spirits renewed from within. Look for the dream in each other's eyes, spark where a new world begins. Yes, we drink from the well together. Heart to heart we are dancing as one, dancing for justice, dancing for joy, dance for a love that we're all a part of. We drink from the well, spirits renewed. We drink from the well, stand hand in hand. We drink from the well, dancing for joy. I feel my heart swell. We drink from the well.
So I have a couple of umbrella projects I need help with, especially since I'm not going to be here the next 2 Sundays, so I would just love for it to be taken care of by the time I get back. It's very windy outside, though. Stuff has blown over, so we don't need to set up the umbrellas. Anyway, I have a replacement canvas cover for one umbrella, and we have a base for the cantilever umbrella that hasn't been able to be set up, but the base is going to need sand and water to weight it down. So anyway, that's just my prayer, is just somebody will take care of it.
I'm sharing this announcement on behalf of Reverend Arvid. I'm Amber Vlasnik. The Buddha once said that wise friends and wise conversations are the whole of the spiritual path. Do you remember deep and honest conversations you've had in your life that left you inspired and transformed? Chalice is starting soul matter groups that are intended to facilitate these conversations on a monthly basis. Soul Matters groups are groups of 8 to 12 people who meet monthly for about an hour and a half. They are led by a peer leader who is trained. At each meeting, the group explores a topic of depth. So some past examples are trust, joy, hope, renewal, and compassion. Before each meeting, participants are invited to try an experience or practice related to that theme. And then the experience that they tried out becomes part of the sharing in the group, followed by questions for reflection. Care is taken through a group covenant to allow each participant to share deeply and fully without judgment. The program will be led by Chalice's affiliate minister, Reverend Dr. Arvid Straube. We are planning for the groups to begin in mid-February and early March, so you are invited to fill out an interest form. And you will find that on the Chalice website. It's been in our weekly emails, and it's in the newsletter as well. That's the preferred way, but in case you need the help, there are what? Perfect. There will be an email today, and I think we do have just a couple print forms for folks who may just really want to do it that way. We understand. So they're here, and we include you too. So please feel free to fill those out, and then I guess I'll take them. I'll be on the patio as I'm greeting today. So thank you very much.
Good morning, I'm Callie Leaf. I wanted to remind everybody that after the service, at this time next week, we're going to do an evacuation drill where we will evacuate the chapel and the hub and all meet out at the corner of Miller and Hamilton. And we do this on a periodic basis. And let's see, I just wanted to, excuse me? Keep going. Okay, I wanted to let you know of a couple of things that we do with security in mind here at Chalice. We do have cameras, and you may have noticed signs around the property that say we have video cameras in use. We also lock the chapel doors during services, and the hub is locked during services in the event of someone that would try to harm us. And we also have walkie-talkies so that we can communicate between the buildings. So there are some things additional things that we are doing for security. But this evacuation drill is something we do about once a year, and it will be next Sunday after the service. In the front half of the congregation would be exiting out the double doors, the back half would be exiting out the rear doors, and there will be people to guide you down to the corner. And we have to try and see if we can beat last year's time of like 2 minutes and 15 seconds for everybody to get down to the corner. Thank you.